Good early morning, YouTube. Today is July 11th, I believe. It's early, first thing in the morning. Sun's coming up. I need to have a great day spraying some weeds today because we have more rain coming. So last video you saw, we got some rain, and that was on Tuesday night, I believe. We got anywhere from 3/10 to almost 2 inches. And my wheat ground is getting really weedy. Here's some stuff around my grandma's house, and I don't really want this stuff to go to seed. It maybe, I don't know, you tell me, when is this a viable seed? Right now? You know, like a wheat head shows, but it's, you know, it's not mature until it starts to dry down some more. So I don't know. I got a mess, and I don't know if it's going to be dry enough to go where I need to go, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm going to fill up this morning first with just some Roundup. I'm going to try to get, there's an 80-acre field that's kind of weedy. I want to spray, and then what's left of that, hopefully I can come here to Grandma's. I know there was an inch at least here. And today, so that was Tuesday night, so it's dried Wednesday, Thursday, today is Friday, so not a ton of drying, but it's been good drying days. So I'm hoping that stuff is dry and I can get through it, spray a little bit more, spray the rest of that tank out there, and then I'm going to switch to spraying Roundup with a residual over all the wheat ground to try to get, I wanted to get this one last tank over the cotton ground, because once I switch to the residual, I'm gonna have to really clean the tank good to get that out before I come back to cotton. So the rush here is, I've got lots of acres to spray and 1 day to do it, and I'm not gonna get it all done. We've got more rain chances coming tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, and also some Monday. And I mean, it's crazy. I'm thankful we've not been wet in July, so it's a good thing. It's just I've got weed pressure. So I've got Wade Airplane Sprayer on the phone. I'm on the list. I told him, I said, I'll see what I can get done today, and I'm probably gonna have to pay him to do the rest because it's just it's a mess. So the other thing, exciting news for the farm, is I got a phone call, 2 phone calls Wednesday. A local farmer, he was gonna let some land go back, and same family, siblings, and they offered me some more land. So thankful for that opportunity. It is, I'll just be taking care of it until I probably plant wheat or cotton on it next. But it's got some weeds, some careless weeds, especially pretty thick, which I don't like that, but it is super convenient. It is just over there near the town of Sagerton. So it's very convenient. It's really good land. It's highly productive for our area. And so I'm excited for the opportunity, but I need to get those weeds under control too, again, before the rain. The big issue with that, those careless weeds, is they are hard to kill all the time. You guys know it, pigweed, Palmer amaranth. And so yesterday, I didn't show this, I was just in a rush, but I got hooked up to the 8260 to the disc. It's too wet to do any of that over here, but just right over there, it didn't rain near as much. I went and plowed the perimeter to give me a buffer around those. It's 2 farms. There's a 3rd farm, but really small. I wasn't able to get to that, but get the perimeter plowed a couple rounds, and so it gives me a buffer, because I'm going to come hopefully today in the middle of, after this load of Roundup and maybe after the first load of residual, I may load up with a different chemical to just burn that all down, because some of those careless weeds are pretty big. But just give me some time to get them burned down and get them not going to seed, and give me a chance to kind of catch my breath on other stuff and come back to that after the rain when the weeds are smaller, because that burn down, they will green back up, but it'll buy me some time. So 2 loads of spraying there, you know, kind of, I think it's going to work out, because I don't think I'm going to be able to spray hardly anywhere else besides this general area. Maybe my parents, but I got farms over there that got 2 inches, so I don't think that's going to be ready. Lots of talking to you this morning, but that's the plan. Spray, 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 and then if I have time, I'll spray. Stay tuned. Before I get pumping, I want to check these filters before there's product in line. It's still going to get all over me in my hands. Good. That is clean. The other one should be good. Okay. While that's filling, I just want to check a couple nozzles here. Oh man, didn't want to do that. Just want to check my strainers over. Just want to make sure there's no buildup of any kind of particulates. Make sure I got that slot at the back. Okay, and then I'm going to check these diaphragms at the top up here. They get dust gets in that top part there, and it keeps that plunger from activating. And then I won't know it, and I'll leave green strips down the field because these nozzles aren't turning on. So I checked these not long ago and they've gotten some rain on them. So I didn't expect they'd be messed up, but this rubber can break also. That was okay. Seemed like it was getting a little bit tight, so just gonna check over a couple of these, and by couple I'll probably just do all of them because I got time, because I got no time for leaving brown streaks. Yeah, I got no time for brown streaks either, brown or green. Not a fan of either one. Both of those ruin your day. I found this little booger. Get out of my field, nasty suckers. I've got some down on the end. There's always going to be some, but I told Emily and the boys are probably going to come and check some of those spots. Right there was a couple I saw from the end of the road, and so if I see a few like that one, I'll get out and get it. So far I'm getting close to halfway done, and everything's been good. I've been able to get through it all. Nothing's been too muddy. Some mud spots, but nothing significant. So it should get better as I go west. So far, we're working the plan. I'm over here at the farm by the barn, and it's wetter, but I just got started, so we'll see what it looks like. But there's definitely water still up here. I hadn't been through here to see how this cotton came up since I had to patch it all in, but we get all my tracks here where I had to turn around. So this is coming really nice where I patched in. Up here where there's water still standing. I bet that's probably, if I guess, I would guess that that's probably drowned out, but I don't know that for sure. But that's going to be a small area. I can see cotton up to it on both sides. There may be some in there, but if we get more rain, it'll probably be done for. Good thing about where this water stood is it should be pretty hard. It's tracking a little bit. I'm spraying over the wheat a little bit because the chemical I'm spraying will kill the cotton. That I'm going to spray over there will kill the cotton. So I'm thinking I better jump along this terrace here, but there is cotton growing in all that water. I just don't want to get stuck here in a mess. I know. I know. It's a little wetter than I want it to be where I'm going, but it's not terrible. I've seen worse. Lake Dudensing. There's water standing in there too, but I just gotta get to it. When? Now's the time, I guess. So, all right. Thank you for following along while I did not get stuck this time. Appreciate the support. Let me get back on my back road, my right rows. I'm not planning on, although this ground here where I'm headed looks a little weedy and probably could be sprayed. It's going to be too wet, I think, kind of throughout. It's going to get wetter as I go that way and these terrace bottoms. I don't know. It's not on my priority list to get this sprayed. There is some grass, but it was that cotton ground, and then now it's, once I get this tank empty, it's to get to the wheat ground and try to get as much of that done next. I got that first load sprayed and found some mud. It really was fine, except for I got to the waterway down that low spot over there, and it's silty all in the cotton. It was silty all in the wheat. I thought, oh, it'll be better in the wheat because there's green grass growing, and maybe a lot of the silt got caught closer in, right up against the wheat. Oh, it was everywhere. It was real sloppy. So I started in, I was able to back out. I was like, well, I'll just parallel it until I can get across. Well, then it got real sloppy and I had to get out. And so then I looped all the way around next to the far east side, and I just had to send it. And I made some ruts. I won't be able to get across that, so I'll need to spray that. Yeah, I gotta think through that because that's just a small section from the highway to the waterway. I'll just have to spray that small section and then go to the other end. And I don't know. I knew that this part's gonna be iffy on this spraying this wheat ground, but that's the worst of it. I'll just have to think of it this way. Every rut I put in is a rut that'll be there. I can plow them up. Just go along the tracks and plow up. That's probably what I'll do. But every acre I spray is $6 or $7 that I'm saving, not having to pay an airplane. So what can you do? All right, I'm gonna fill up now with normal Roundup with this. It's a generic called generic Valor residuals. A lot of guys seem to use it around here. I've never used it. I think it might help with the volunteer cotton and some careless weeds in there. I didn't get to spray residual. We spray over the wheat because the wheat was too dry. Then it got too wet, and then it was too late. So I'm gonna get that loaded up. Spray this tank out. At the farm I sprayed the cotton at, that should be drier. And then again, spray the rest of it out here around the barn. And then I'm gonna transition to this chemical to spray those two patches that I just picked up, to burn those down. and then come back, and maybe there's ground somewhere else that's dry enough to spray. I'm gonna get Dad maybe to go look around his house. It slopes more than over here, so I'm hoping that maybe I can get his sprayed. That would be a win. If I could get all that, if I could get this tank sprayed, the 2 tanks at the new place is sprayed, plus another tank here, and get some over there at his house, that would be a good day. And if there's more, maybe I've got time. I'm gonna work into the night if I can, if there's ground to spray, because I don't think I'm gonna have any spraying tomorrow. All right, got it loaded up. This Flumy's a little bit of a white liquid, so shook it up real good. Got it loaded. Couldn't see, had a shadow of my boom right at my line, and so I'm a little full. Oh, maybe 3 or 4 gallons, so should be good. All right. Finding dry ground. That's what we're looking for. No more of this mud. Well, there'll be mud, but not sloppy mud like I went through down the waterway. I don't think there should be that, but there will be some wet spots. All right, tank number 2. All right, tank number 2 is finished. I got that farm done. I got that farm started on the far east side. It's plenty wet. It's pretty wet in some spots, but for the most part, it's holding me up pretty good. Just gonna be part of it. I think it's still worth my while to get out there and spray. Cheap enough, you know. I don't want to spend the money on the airplane, but I will have to, as it looks on some others. So I'm going to shift gears again now, well, let me think. I could load up and spray another one of these tanks, and then go spray the other at the burn down at the new places. No, okay, this is my thought process. I need to switch out the Roundup tote anyways, so I'm gonna bring the new one out and pump out the extra into the new tote. And so while I got the skid steer out, I'll just move the other chemical tote there to be able to use it. It makes more sense in my mind. So I'm gonna load up. I'm gonna get all that switched around and load up the new chemical and go to the new farms. I don't have track lines over there. I made a boundary in the other tractor. I've never done that before. I think they turned out decent. There wasn't a lot of property markers to go off of, so I'm kind of guessing where the weeds look different. And that was kind of a challenge. So I'll need to do better one of those. I didn't take the time to make any track lines because I couldn't find property boundaries and all that. So I guess I'll just kind of freehand the boundary and then just strike a line randomly, try to get it as straight as I can, and go off of that for now until I can get new lines made. Excuse my mess. I haven't had time to get anything cleaned up. Oh, this is when we were transferring the grain from the grain truck to the cart, and it was full, a little over full. All right, so here's a full tote. I'm gonna move that. And I've never gotten one of these before, a mini tote of this stuff. It's it's got some scary things on it, but it is a highly effective. There's some big deals on. You don't want anybody getting a hold of this that doesn't need to get a hold of it. But the 2.5 gallon jugs were not quite, but close to 3 times as much as getting it in bulk. So I didn't need much. I have some already. I didn't need but like 30 more gallons, but it was almost cheaper, not much more, to get 130 gallons of that versus 30 gallon encased material. So riddle me that. All right, everything's moved over because that won't finish my second load, I don't think. So then I'll have to pump that out and then pump out of this, and then I'll be done with that and then load this for the next thing. This was very full. Full as I could get it. Went ahead and closed this vent back because it could leak out. That, plus I had to get a little bit left in those two jugs because it wouldn't fit. All right, we get the tractor now and load up and keep spraying, I guess. All right, a little bit different on this chemical. With the Roundup, you got to put a water conditioner in there because Roundup doesn't play very good with our hard water. So that water conditioner is essential for Roundup to work properly. Probably a big reason why we've got, if you don't, it's a big problem. And then the other one is the surfactant put in last. Helps for drift control, helps kind of maybe break down some of that waxy. Those leaves can get waxy on those weeds when they get hot and stressed. And so I'm still going to put that in at the end, but I don't need the water conditioner with this chemical. This chemical is a contact killer. It doesn't translocate really into the plant. It's just whatever living tissue it touches, it kills. It's a desiccant. It's used to dry stuff down. So I'll put that in first, then I'll put the LI700 surfactant in. That should be it. And I'm going to put on these gloves because this stuff is very corrosive. It can be very dangerous. And so I'm going to put on a little bit of protective equipment in case this stuff splashes on me. That's this kind of green color. I accidentally left you out here while I sprayed. I didn't realize when I got down the road, I left the camera. So got my third tank sprayed. I didn't get a chance to show you that farm, but I will take this with me. I'm gonna go put it in the cab right now so I can show you where I'm going to the other new farm. They're right by each other. So sorry about that. See you in a little bit. All right, I'm here at the places. So this farm is, I don't know how to, I'll just show you. It's from here, I had to kind of guess on the boundary around this house down to that, not that close to that tree, and it's a long 130 acres, I think. And then this section over here, it's the telephone poles, and it kind of juts around 110-ish acres over there. So I just got it sprayed. It's already starting to kind of turn. This stuff happens pretty fast. But man, this was just growed up pretty thick, kind of how the careless weeds are here and back behind the house. It's just really thick. So this hopefully will get it burned down. We get the rain and I can come back and figure out what to do. It plowed pretty good where, I just buzzed through this quick. So maybe I need to just go ahead and disc the whole thing, which with my disc does a good job. It's just 17 feet at a time. It'll take me a while. So I'm gonna go and I don't have any track lines here. So I'm gonna try to figure out a track line for this one best I can, and then get it knocked out. Okay, there's the house over there, and so it's not that far, but it's long. It goes all the way back to some pasture back there. This is a shared turn row, so it's all the same family but siblings, and so same farmer did work all of this, but I got these two farms and a different farmer got this farm and the one on the other side of the telephone poles and some others. But so I thought this turn row was straight, but it's not. So I'm gonna do a new track line. I'll just call this West. Real creative, I know. And cancel. I need to change that just from straight track to AB curves, I believe. and then it'll just start recording once I start going, I believe is how that will work. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm just gonna go along and put my left tire in a consistent spot here, kind of next to where I plowed, and that because I plowed it pretty close to that turn row accurately. So this ought to give me a pretty good track line as long as I can hold my mouth right while I'm talking to you, and that'll give me, I don't want to use this track line to do the whole field because it'll be kind of crooked. I'd like to go over there. There's a tree and one marker. It's not the full length, but I'm hoping I can get it straight enough, and that line will be a pretty good line for now to spray from east coming to west. I think I got a track line. I don't know how good it is. It's just kind of short distance between the 2 points, but it's the best option I have. And so, I mean, you just see this is a mess. So I got my work cut out for me. These are all pigweeds. And so I don't know. There's a lot of seeds in here, obviously, and I'm hoping I'm catching these before those seeds are mature. I don't know when is a seed from a careless weed or pigweed or Palmer amaranth, when is that mature? I don't know the answer to that. So I'm hoping it's not yet. So hopefully I get this burned down, and then what will I do? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what's going to be best. Maybe it's the best to plow the whole thing, but it's got a lot more than I expected. It's a shame that it's in the condition that it's in, but you know, I got a chance to. All my other stuff's pretty clean. What I'm hoping is that, though, you know, I may have to spend some more. I'm gonna have to spend some more money here, some more time, but that these don't detract from my other stuff. That would be a bad thing. I'm hoping that those others can maybe float this for a year and give me a chance to get some stuff in here that's working to keep these weeds down. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not married to it. I'd love to work it for a long time, and I hope that I can. But also, you know, I don't want to lose money either. So follow along. You'll find out if I lose money. I just like a little strip here. I'm only spraying with those outside two booms to get that strip there. And I think it's going to work out just right on chemical. So this stuff works super fast. The stuff I sprayed when I first got out here is already kind of smelling dead and looking a little bit brown. This funny story, I was spraying this a couple years ago. I had some volunteer cotton, and I sprayed it like right before dark, which is really the best time to do it. And I come back in the morning, and I had forgotten that it takes light to activate. And I come back there the next morning, and everything looks pretty and green, like it was awesome. And I was like, oh, what did I do wrong? And looking up the label, and I was like, stupid. Like that's what you want. You want to put it on there in the evening, let it kind of soak into the plant. I guess that's the thought. And then once the sun hits it, it'll smoke it real fast. So anyways, I won't make that mistake again. Although it wasn't a mistake, it's just I forgot. But you know, so I'm spraying in the middle of the day. It's still good. I asked Samuel. He said that when the humidity's higher, which we've been really high in humidity for a while, you know, all these plants are going to take up chemical a lot better. So hopefully, my issue is just when some of that stuff I think is so big. Is am I getting enough coverage on the whole plant? That I'm a little bit nervous about some of that, but I've sprayed a lot of that big stuff twice at higher rate, so I'm hoping that'll get wilted down, so I can see what I'm working with here. So it's a smooth farm. It's like I said, it's flat and it's long. It farms fast because it's long. I'll have to look on the maps later, but you know, I've got grandma's house is a mile-long rows. These may be longer. It's real long and narrow, but farming fast. All right, I'm gonna get this sprayed out. I'm gonna switch back to my Roundup and residual mix for the fallow ground, and I'm gonna finish one tank. Will probably not quite finish me over here. I'll fill up again and finish, and then move to my parents with the tractor and spray that tank out, and hopefully fill again and spray and finish my parents' house. I don't think that I'll keep going after. I think I'll be out of my surfactant at that point. I didn't really think I was hopeful I'd get all this stuff done. I really didn't think I would. So, and by the time I thought about getting more, the gin was closed. So, but they're talking about rain at 50% chance after 10 a.m. tomorrow. So I'd have to be done spraying if it started raining at 10, at the earliest 9:30. Otherwise the roundup wouldn't take. So that, I don't know, and it still may be too wet. The places I got to go got the most amount of rain, and so I may just call it and hire the airplane for the last 2 fields. One thing I can do in the morning possibly is I got one real small, like 21 to 26 acre farm. There's some debate on that. That I was wanting to plow with the disc. I ran out of time yesterday, so I may get up in the morning and do that. It's got Johnson grass, its biggest issue. That's about it. Grasses and Johnson grass. So it'd be nice to get that plowed under before it goes to seed as well. So I think that's what I may do. Spray as much as I can today, plow in the morning, and then take a nap tomorrow. I'm getting going on tank number 5, I believe. Yeah, tank 5 of 6. I think 6. 6 is going to be my limit because I'm out of surfactant. Bad deal. But it is real woolly here. I mean, it's thick. I've been wanting to spray these ditches too because they're real thick too. So, get it knocked out. Realize I don't think I ever gave you an update on the cotton. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen me driving around it a little bit, but it looks good. So, on a cotton plant, the cotyledons come out first and then function as leaves, and then they kind of, they're not as efficient as real leaves. So we would not count these last 2 leaves here, this one and this one, as leaves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, working on 7 and 8. So that one has 8 leaves, but then you got some of these small ones here. So those cotyledons, and that's just got a single leaf coming. I don't know if that'll make. I don't know why it's so delayed. There's no telling, but so it's not all that big, but it's sporadic through there. But overall, I'm pleased with the stands. It's growing really good. We've had great weather, warm but not over hot. Humidity, I guess, is good for the plants. Not as much fun to work in. We've had the rain. We're off to a really good start. The price of cotton is still really bad and kind of continues to go down, but maybe we can just make a whole lot of it. That would make low price a little bit easier if you just make a whole bunch of that little low price cotton. So we'll see what happens. Well, just filled up for the 6th time. Is that right? 1, 2, yeah, 6 loads. And I'm not that I'm done with 6 loads, but it's been a full day. I'm ready to go home. But I have about 5 acres left here that I ran out and had to fill up. So full now. I'll get that little bit here at Grandma's, and then I'm going to spray the rest of this tank out over my parents. And that's all I can fill up anyways, because I'm out of LI 700 surfactant. So it could be raining in the morning. I don't really know. If it doesn't rain, if it's not raining, I'm gonna wake up early and I'm gonna try to get the disc over to that 20 acre small piece that I just picked up and try to get it plowed in. And if there's like a bout of showers in the morning, and then the big stuff is in the afternoon. So if for some reason it's still not raining and I'm able to get that plowing done and I could find somewhere to spray, then maybe I can get Emily to get to town and give me some more surfactant and I can spray another load possibly, or not, and I'll just pay the airplane. So I got options. Today was a good day. I'm glad to get all things done that I'm getting done. Not often do I set out a goal and reach the goal. I think I basically did that, or I will be pretty close to doing that. So thanks for following along. Follow along with seeing if I can whip those new farms into shape with all those weeds. We'll see how they respond to that burn down and how they come back, and we'll try to get after them when they come back out. So we'll stay safe out there. It is they already have issued some flash flood warnings for us out here, so that hits even more close to home after what's happened over 4th of July in Central Texas. So if you're in the path of some heavy rain, just be careful out there. And if you're going to farm it.